All right, so yeah, we got some brand new info about all things the First Descendant today. We're going to be talking about a new interview from the dev team. They talk about trading, balancing the characters. We're going to talk about some brand new teases related to upcoming content as well. And yes, some critical feedback. But I say we start here because guess what? They did the impossible. It says big shout out to the team for being the world's first to clear Molten Fortress, the hardest of all Void bosses. Incredible accomplishment. But it says this. Look forward to even tougher and more epic bosses. Get ready for the challenge. So yeah, it seems like almost like every season they want to introduce some sort of new boss. And then yes, with new Descendants, we're going to be getting new story content alongside those as well. But they did note this as well. It says, we would like to inform you that the issue causing delays in Twitch Drops rewards has been only partially resolved. It says the current status is this. If you participate in the Twitch Drops event after logging to the game, the real-time Twitch Drops rewards delivery within approximately 1 minute. So that issue has been resolved. However, it says if you participate in Twitch Drops event without ever logging into the game, give up to 2 hours may be required to receive Twitch Drops rewards. That fixes in progress. It says please start the game before participating in the Twitch Drops event until the issue is fully resolved, and they're going to give us more updates in the future about the status of this as well. But I say we get into that brand new dev interview because I know a lot of you guys are curious about what's happening with the future of the game. So we're going to start out with trading. It says you've mentioned before that there will be a trading system. Are there any sort of consideration so it doesn't get abused? And the answer was this from the dev team. We're working on the trading system and how to give things away as well. We're planning on implementing it once the service stabilizes to the point where we can add it. So right now, the goal currently is to really make sure those servers are running nice and smoothly, and then they can get into enhancing the game through these type of features. And I'm sure we'll be learning more about the trade system, how it works exactly through these new dev chats that they continue to do. Now, also it says this, when it comes to balancing the 19 Descendants, can you talk about that or also give examples of a Descendant you felt was too strong? So my question is, who do you think is like the most OP Descendant right now in the game? That's not to say I think anyone should be nerfed whatsoever. This is not a PvP game. It's completely unnecessary. Players should be able to completely build upon the power fantasy in any way they want to. That's my opinion. So nerfs, they got to be extremely cautious about nerfing anything, if at all. Now, they did respond saying this right here. That's a very good question because before the launch, that's the main topic we could potentially think about and try to edit and advise each other on. There might be a slight imbalance between the characters because of what players feel towards each character. Their power fantasies are different. We're hoping all players get enjoyment from bringing the power fantasy out of each individual character. We're putting a lot of time and effort into what you were saying with one character outclassing everybody. We're trying not to make that happen, so we're putting a lot of time and effort into it for our updates and our launch. So yeah, it seems like, I feel like they did a pretty good job with this. Will there be updates to this in regards to raising up a character or buffing characters? That I can see. Now that I can get behind if there are characters that are kind of lagging behind. Let me know if that's actually the case. I know I asked you guys, do you think one is OP? But I'm asking you now, do you think one character, one Descendant is actually underpowered and they deserve a buff? Now also we have this right here. I followed a lot of looter games. There are a lot of successes, but some have not been so successful. Did the development team pay attention to those successes and those failures? And the response is this right here. As a development team that's making a looter shooter game for the first time, we do look to Destiny for reference, Warframe, and so on. What caught our attention was that Warframe was very actively serves and communicates with its players. That's something we feel we are good at, especially with an MMORPG. As a gaming company, we're especially certain we're experts in the field of communicating with players. We're putting a lot of time and effort into implementing our experience and our techniques to better service and better communicate with players. And, to mention that, I will say this at the very least. Kudos to the dev team for doing those dev chats. I really do hope they keep up on those, by the way, because that one-on-one type of communication, in my opinion, is extremely important, especially when it comes to the issues that players are facing currently for the most part. I think one of the biggest issues is, yes, that monetization scheme being far too aggressive in some respects. Now, also we have this. Everybody asks about Destiny, one of your inspirations, and there's been talk about how Destiny always had a 10-year plan. Do you have some sort of timeline for where you want to be with the game at a certain point? And the answer is this. I can't talk about everything about that right now, but in my brain, there's a whole roadmap. For part of that plan, I've already spoken with the development team. In order to meet that goal, they're doing little by little to approach what I have planned. We're trying to constantly update the content, whether it is, for example, on a yearly basis, or we're trying to give the players something like a new twist to the game. These changes could help it go on longer, go on for a while. Now, they also did mention we're going to have a storyline for each Descendant per season, whether it be how they gained their experience, their trauma, or their background history. And that's something that I really do like as well, that they do have those story bits in there. What do you guys think of the story, by the way? Do you like it or not? But yeah, they're going to have to really make sure that they don't release repetitive type content. That's my biggest concern, because some of the content does feel a bit repetitive. I hope that they can be careful. Now, this mission that you're seeing here, I want to talk about. I do like how it actually moves throughout the world. That's something that I do enjoy, that type of content, because it keeps you on your toes. Now, I say we go straight to the community and talk about what they're talking about. So check it out. It says, why does player collision exist? It's so pointless and especially annoying as Bunny cruising through the missions and non-stop running into people, losing your momentum. And it seems like a lot of you guys agree with this one as well. And you Bunny players are being called out. It says, Bunny, clear the ads. The game is 95% Bunny. None of you will clear ads during intercept. You literally have some of the best ad clearing in the game. And you sit tunnel visioned at the boss, just shooting, help your team, and clear ADS or ads. So we have available ammo, HP, and MP pickups. It's not hard to understand. Now, that brought up another topic as well. It says this. We need to vote to kick. The leeching is ridiculous. How lazy are these people? I'd say 1/5 of random matches I get a leecher. I just quit the boss if I see them at the back of the map and I'm not moving for a while. I know it can be abused like it was in Dark Tide and other games, so hear me out. We need a way to kick obvious leeches. What they can do is stop the ability to kick once the boss is at least 30% health or something, or if you're more than 75% through a dungeon. So how do you think they should solve this problem with players leeching? You know, it is an issue. I have noticed it myself, and it can be a pain. So I really do think they need some sort of system in place. I don't know. The AFK system doesn't seem to be working that well with this one, so they might have to update that. And yet again, the comparisons do continue with Warframe. It says, in Warframe, you can paint the default skins and unlimited use of dye. Please give us the same system, because I'm tired of seeing blue bunnies running around everywhere. This shit is tedious. And yeah, you know, it would also be nice to have like more of a color wheel type system, but 2,300 upvotes. And let us color the default skin. It's such a bummer that you can't just go in and color the default skin, but they really want you purchasing something. That's the goal here, obviously. But the community has been really on Nexon about stuff. Check it out. It says this: Nexon holds patent for dynamic RNG. Important. This is just an information about Nexon and their past practices. The First Descendant has this system, but this raises an eyebrow considering the game is a looter shooter. We can either prove or deny the game has it or not. We can't data mine this since everything is server side. So yeah, I think that people are very paranoid about past practices. And of course, they should be concerned because some of the RNG is not adding up with certain things. Could be a bug. So they have yet to tell us if some of the RNG that's happening here is actually a bug. Especially, there's a joke going around about Freyna acquiring her. That can be an absolute pain in the butt to actually acquire her. But we got an interesting reply here. It says, so if I'm reading this correctly, it would be better to do a couple of missions, log off for whatever days, then come back so that the RNG is reset. And King replied saying, I'm curious as well. This isn't the only game that does this. I'd like a time frame to see how long to be inactive for drop rate bump. In other words, the casual players are going to have better luck than the no-lifers. That's honestly hilarious. Keep those hardcore players drip fed while the couple times a week players can keep up while having a job, kids, and all that. That might be the idea here. So that hasn't been confirmed if that's exactly how the system works. I think only time will tell if someone really gets into the numbers nitty gritty. We'll see if someone actually can break this down. But then again, I feel like if someone does, they're just going to change the system, and update it or something. But also we have this right here. I genuinely wish the worst to whoever put these in the game. They're evil. But yeah, some people wish that they would drop this feature from the game entirely as well. Now we have the vote for the best Descendant module, HP Collector. Do not neglect this thing whatsoever. It's a big discussion going on right now. In fact, here's a reply. This is how I farmed 5% on mission completion. Hard mode, would not recommend on normal. Vespers, Lumberyard, bottom area, frontline base, battlefield mission right in front of outpost, the Lumberyard. So yeah, then someone did reply. I farm it on normal. It has been 56 Void Fusion Reactor and or 168 Void Fragment run. I get 4 Transcend and not a single HP Collector drop yet. So this one seems to be a pretty good one as well. Now, someone did note something very, very cool about the First Descendant. I like the attention to detail here. It says, emotes have collision with the environment to prevent clipping. Love the attention to detail. And if we play the clip here, you could see how when she sits down here, her leg doesn't clip through the environment. And it actually adjusts also to elevation. That is just badass. That sort of detail. I got to say kudos to the dev team for paying attention to that one. But someone also noted, hey, don't ignore Enzo. Check it out right here. Enzo is such a beast. And I have yet to play as Enzo. I think he's probably going to be the next character that I really tried to unlock. But I want to get Freyna unlocked currently as well. I'm just taking my time with this game and just enjoying it. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, some of you are always curious about the numbers. How many players are on the game currently. Yesterday, on Saturday, we actually broke the record for this game for the concurrent numbers. How many players were actually online? Guess what? We did it again. As you can see right here, 264,257 players online right now. And we just hit an all-time peak 4 hours ago on Sunday. It keeps going up and up. Curious to see if they can continue this trend next weekend. Usually it's the first weekend that sees that ultimate number, but there's rare cases where, even like 2 weeks after the game can continue going up, but we'll see. That would be crazy if that actually does happen. But this is a free-to-play game. We'll see if word of mouth also helps it out as well. But let's go over your top comments. Remember to leave a comment down below. It could end up right here in a future video. So let's do this. All right, I'm going to scroll down here. It says, I don't mind the grind. To be honest, I prefer it. That carrot on a stick keeps me coming back to looter shooters. But if the grind seems so impossible, it pushes me away. So it seems like a lot of you guys aren't being pushed away whatsoever by the grind currently. But I do think there's some mechanics that are definitely holding the game back, especially some of those mini games that you can fail. Now, also we have my theory is they keep the grind for character parts annoying to get more people to just pay for it. But once most people have broken and paid, they'll make it easier so they keep people. We'll see. If something is selling really, really good, usually there's no price adjustment with that. That's just how it goes. But yeah, it's not like they're going to put something on sale if it's selling like hotcakes. You know what I mean? But again, I could be wrong. Now, also we have Brandon who says, add matchmaking for hard mode. Maybe adjust the encrypted vaults mechanic. Grinds can be fun. Doesn't have to be annoying. Make shaders unlock for all skins. Soon, not now. Change the damn boss mechanics. Everyone has the floating balls. LOL. It's fun, but a few changes over the next 3 months could make this much better. 8.5 out of 10. Okay. Do you guys agree with that score? Well, do you guys actually score it? Now it says, remove encrypted vaults. Slightly increase XP gain if they want you to forma more often. Make the reactors and forma of this game more accessible. And make paints just free, or at least a base color set. I don't think they're ever going to do that. Remove encrypted vaults. Once again, he doubles down on remove encrypted vaults. And then I have, honestly, no complaints at all anymore. Nice. Yeah, I think that this game could really see a very bright future if they really do listen to player feedback. And the seasons are entertaining. And the actual Descendants that they do add in here don't feel like they're repetitive. Don't feel like that they're just like reskin versions of another Descendant, which I'm a little worried about given some of the state of the Descendants that are currently in the game. But yeah, overall, I feel like there's a cool Descendant for everyone, you know. But there it is. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned here for more. The First Descendant, I have you guys covered, and I do plan to cover some other cool stuff coming up here. There's some really good game releases. I'm looking forward to Warhammer, by the way. That one's looking badass. So I cannot wait for September. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Take care.